We are living in the age of artificial intelligence, the fastest revolution humanity has ever known. AI may calculate, but it cannot bloom. It cannot breathe silence into a room. It cannot feel a heart breaking or a child laughing. It cannot hold you in grief or create from longing. It cannot forgive or fall in love. This is the role of the human. To walk beside intelligence not born of us and survive as humans, we must return to what we are, to heal the places we once abandoned, the fears, the wounds, the unspoken truths. For when we heal, our creativity awakens, and that awakening heals the world. Beauty heals, art heals, music heals, poetry heals, presence heals. This is the world I wish to live in, born from silence and from remembering the fire of creation within. So this is the world we live in. We don't know how to be present, because we always have something to do, somewhere to go. There is no silence, no stillness, only distractions. And so we can't really hear ourselves and listen to our own truth and what we believe in. So we outsource our truth, our opinions about how the world works, etc. But in this moment of stillness and presence, we can come back to ourselves, sit with ourselves, learn to love ourselves, because then in those moments we have to meet ourselves and face ourselves. And that is exactly what most people are running away from. There will be no wars in that world. That's for sure. Because the war is within, it's not outside. So if we all learn to love ourselves, accept ourselves, be at peace with ourselves, then the outside or the external world would reflect that back to us. So, heaven and hell were never geographical locations. They are inside us. My mission is to guide people towards a world where emotional literacy is basic education. Because our feelings are our life force, and that's what makes us humans. And we live in the age of artificial intelligence. And we can never compete with the power and the thinking mind of artificial intelligence. We can't compete with it, and we don't need to, because our power as humans is not in data, it is in depth. Emotional depth, emotional literacy, understanding our feelings and understanding our emotional worlds. Majority of people were raised in the world of emotional suppression. So we are disconnected from that part of ourselves. We had to perform for love. We had to dim our light. We were not able to express our emotions as little kids. Think about all the little girls who were not allowed to express rage, anger, who had to people please to fit in and always smile and be kind and nice. Think about all the little boys who had to toughen up and were never allowed to cry. It doesn't mean they never felt these emotions. They did, but it was not allowed. So, and these emotions, they don't just vanish or disappear. They are stuffed somewhere inside the body, and they are frozen there. And they are looking for a way out, actually. So that's what healing is. Going back to these past memories and experiences and working through these feelings, emotions that are suppressed somewhere. As a child, we develop certain beliefs about ourselves. In general, very universal beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not loved. I cannot show who I truly are. I have to suppress parts of myself. I have to suppress my emotions. So imagine if you're like this, and now you have to fit into your family patterns, societal structures, etc. You kind of erase parts of who you are to fit in, to earn external validation, because you don't think that you're worthy anymore. You develop that belief, right? So your whole systems goes out into the world with this magnificent program running underneath. And now you see your whole life experience through that lens. And all the narratives, all the stories that you tell inside your head are based on this science fiction. Because it's not truth, right? So now, on the healing path, what you do is that you start to have a higher awareness about those patterns and beliefs that are running the show. It's like almost you are not in the show anymore. Like you are not an actor in the show, but now you have a promotion. You are the director. You can see okay, this is the program that's running now. And you get to choose. Okay, do I want to see my life and my life experiences and relationship through that blurry, dirty lens? Or would I rather clean it up and see the reality through a very, very different lens? And we all have that choice. But we have this choice starting from the moment where we understand and we have the awareness that there are programs running inside my head. Old stories, old narratives, old wounds keeping you small. You're still hiding parts of yourself. You are people pleasing. You find yourself in toxic, abusive relationships because of that. Because these programs are running underneath. Because you still believe you are not worthy enough for this job, for this relationship, for a better life. You didn't only inherit traumas and dysfunctional patterns from your parents, ancestors, from your lineage, but you also inherited all their gifts. And they maybe had to suppress their voice, their gifts. They didn't have the opportunities that we have today. So imagine if you can be the cycle breaker and bring all those suppressed gifts to the world. And the people that we attract into our lives are teachers. They come to teach you something about you, about your wounds, about your childhood, especially intimate relationships. So, if we understand that simple, fundamental truth that people in your life are teachers, mirrors that came to mirror you something about you. And no, I'm not saying that when somebody is being abusive and toxic, that it mirrors necessarily that you are abusive and toxic. No. They are mirroring to you a part of yourself that accepts that kind of behavior, that chooses to stay instead of walking away and saying that I don't allow that energy, that behavior in my life. So next time when you want to call someone narcissistic, psychopathic, whatever label you want to give it to people, because that's what we do when we feel powerless and we are in the victim mindset. But if you, for a moment, can think about it, that this person came to teach me something, then you wouldn't attack the mirror, but you would turn inward and ask, why is this happening to me? What is this person teaching to me? And how can I evolve and grow as a human from this experience? So instead of pointing the finger and blaming the mirror and attacking the mirror, it was never about the other person. It was always about you. But what we need more of is not only intellectual knowledge and understanding and awareness. Okay, it's a mirror. Okay, it's a teacher. But what do I do now with that? How do I turn inward? What do I need to do to understand myself better, understand my wounds, understand why am I allowing this to happen? And this is what healing and self-transformation is about. It's going into these early experiences where your sense of self was shaped due to your circumstances, where you grew up in. And then just looking at it, accepting these experiences, processing all the emotions that come up with this sadness, grief, anger. This is part of the healing process. And as a result, what happens? Every time you process your emotions, your stuck stuff, yucky stuff inside you, more space opens up. Your life force can move through you. And life force is nothing else than creative energy. So your creativity can open up. Your gifts can come online. Parts of yourself that you hid somewhere can show up again. So this is the process of healing. This is the process of self-discovery and understanding yourself better. It's not about reading more books and going to all the retreats and no. This is intellectual knowledge. But turning inward, seeing the patterns, breaking the loops, processing your emotions, connecting with your internal world, with your emotional landscape. And this is a moment-to-moment work. The medicine was never outside. It was always your fire inside. Your choices, your rhythms, your boundaries, your surroundings, your heart, your mind. Healing isn't a quick fix. It's the way you live. If there is still a villain in your story, you are not free. There are two mindsets, two perspectives through which you can navigate your human experience. Victim, creator. Most people are operating in the victim mindset. But we can all choose not to do that. The creator mindset is available to everyone. Now the question is, do you have the courage to become the creator? We have a misunderstanding about pain and suffering. It's not to glorify it, definitely, but we are taught to exile pain, to numb it at all costs, to distract ourselves from it. But pain is a messenger, is a teacher. It's knocking on your door, coming to see you, to tell you that something is not working for me anymore. The relationship that I'm in, the toxic work environment, dysfunctional family dynamics. And you are not feeling good in your own skin anymore. So you have two choices. Do you welcome the pain with open arms, prepare a cup of tea, invite it in, dialogue with it to understand what the message is, what you need to change in your life in order to not to feel the pain or discomfort anymore. Choice number one. Choice number two, The easier one. You'd distract yourself with eating, watching Netflix, having multiple relationships, sex, porn, whatever thing you can distract yourself with. Choice 1. Leads you to self-understanding, maybe feeling more pain because you are facing it, you are allowing the pain now to talk to you, to tell you the story. Why is it here? Why is it showing up? What has it suppressed in the past? Your voice that was silenced, your truth that was silenced, all the situations where you were not courageous enough to say no, the grief that you buried somewhere, the childhood sadness, different emotions. This is the pain. Choice 2, with all these distractions, you suppress it even deeper. It doesn't disappear, it doesn't vanish. It will come up at some point. And the amount of pain probably will grow as a result. But if you know that pain is a messenger, and you can talk to it, you can dialogue with it, you can look at those yucky, awful things that at some point in your life you had to stuff under the rug, then you give yourself permission for a new, more healed, more self-aware version to rise. Boundaries are something that protect our sense of self. This is where I end, this is where you begin. This is me, this is you. This is how you treat me. This is how I deserve to be treated. And based on your boundaries, or the lack of them, you allow people into your lives. And as kids, once again, when we had to perform for love, for care, had to make ourselves smaller, had to dim our light, we step by step erased our boundaries. So boundaries is something that we need to establish or learn how to set them later in life. And there is a golden rule that the further you are on the healing path, the more boundaried you are. Because what was once acceptable behaviors and dynamics, you don't allow this anymore into your life. We don't need more therapists in the world. People who have intellectual knowledge about how to help people. People with diplomas and trainings and intellectual knowledge. We need people who have embodied wisdom, who have walked through their own darkness, who have faced their demons, who have faced their pain, because these people have the capacity to hold space for people in suffering and in pain. So we are moving as a society from intellectual knowledge or knowing knowledge, knowing theory, knowing facts, towards embodied wisdom. This is my lived experience, and I came out on the other side. And I can hold space for your hurt, for your suffering, and I will share all my tools and wisdom with you so that you would find your light. We are witnessing the rise of a new kind of human. The sensitive human. Society has for a very long time seen sensitivity as a weakness. It has labeled it, diagnosed it, pathologized it. But sensitivity is a strength. These are people with finely tuned nervous systems that can perceive subtleties, emotions of other people. They can feel pain and beauty in equal measure. They are more connected to their inner worlds, their emotional landscapes. And when these nervous systems are regulated, and these people know how to regulate themselves, and they are self-aware, and they consider their sensitivity as a superpower, not as a label, because society wants to label them. HSP, ADHD, whatnot. But these people are the visionaries. They are the architects, healers, poets, writers. They know how to turn pain into beauty and design spaces and environments where we can all thrive in. To walk alongside artificial intelligence and to survive as humans, we need creative and intuitive intelligence. So the future belongs to the people who don't know things, but who can feel things, and who can turn their feelings into creation. The stairway to heaven is within. So the question is, are you willing to climb it? Always be kind to yourself. Trust yourself. Nobody else knows you better than you. Nobody else has lived in your body. No therapist, no coach, no parent, no friend, no teacher, nobody. Only you know what you are feeling and you are going through. So trust your experiences, trust your inner world. Don't let anyone deny what you are experiencing or what you are feeling. And give yourself as much love as you possibly can. Because you are learning to love yourself. No one is coming to save you, unfortunately. And you have to give that love that you never received as a child to yourself. Step by step. And I promise you that at some point you will have so much love flowing through you that you don't even know where to put it. But it all starts with you. This is my call to the misfits and the highly sensitive, to the ones who feel too much and the ones who were taught to feel too little, to the minds that hide, to the hands that remember the rhythm, and to the coders who secretly compose. Your difference is medicine. Your creative potential is what the world needs for humanity to rise. When we choose self-transformation, healing, presence, forgiveness, compassion, love, something powerful happens inside. A clearing, a freedom, a strength, waves rising within us, the vast sea reminding us of who we are, a power that cannot be silenced. And from that place, creativity returns, humanity rises, and we become lighthouses, carving light through the storm toward a future led by hearts, not machines.